How's it going, Donald?
In July, I attended Overland Expo PNW in Redmond, Oregon. My Nissan Frontier was featured in the Asphere 4x4 booth, and I took the opportunity to produce some videos about interesting products I found. In the subsequent weeks, scrambling to make progress on my camper build before heading off to Expo Mountain West in Colorado, I completely forgot about this interesting conversation I had with Alan of Yankum Ropes and Casey LaDelle. Located just one state over in Idaho, Yankum Ropes manufactures synthetic winch lines, kinetic recovery ropes, and relevant accessories. Yankum products are entirely made in the US, including weaving their own yarn that gets crafted into their ropes. If you've watched Matt's Offroad Recovery, you've seen Yankum's products being rigorously and repeatedly put to the test, as Yankum makes those yellow ropes Matt uses. I run Yankum's synthetic winch line, soft shackle, and their ingenious groove fairlead for metal-free recoveries. I also carry Yankum's dynamic recovery rope in my kit. Casey LaDelle makes extensive use of Yankum's products in his work as well. Casey is one of Oregon's most well-known YouTubers, and on his channel you'll find him performing off-road recoveries, cleaning up public lands, operating various tow trucks and other even larger trucks and machinery. Never a dull moment on Casey's channel. Yankum Ropes manufactures an innovative alternative to the typical snatch block pulley used to double up a winch line. I have one of these myself. Their unique asymmetrical design inspired Casey to experiment with creating multiple loops to multiply winch power, and having Alan and Casey together at the Yankum booth, I asked them to discuss this further.
These are the new Yankum XL rings. This is a snatch block. We've all seen how these work, one snatch block. This is 4 snatch blocks, because these rings have this outer groove here, but they also have the inner radius that works as a snatch block as well. So the rope can now go through the center and be your snatch block instead of just the outside. And since you can now go through the center as well, if you go around the ring, through the center of the ring, through the center of the ring, you have a 2-part, 3-part, 4-part, or 5-part pull with only 2 rings and 3 soft shackles.
You should tell them what you did just a little while ago with the snowmobile.
So we had a snowmobile recovery we did in a snowmobile only area. We couldn't take the track Jeep up there to bring in the winch and all that, so we got 2 of these rings, a few soft shackles, and a winch line extension, hiked down over the cliff and set up a 5-part setup like that to a tree, and 2 of us pulling on the line were the winch. We pulled the snowmobile up to the tree, leapfrogged the rigging up to the trees, and got the snowmobile all the way back up onto the road with hand power and 2 of these, because we were able to create a 5-part pull with just simple and light enough gear that we could carry it down over the cliff and back up no problem.
Now, everybody's seen where you guys, where you took both of these rings and you moved a 30,000-pound wrector sideways in the dirt. You also
with a Jeep.
With a Jeep. We're just talking a little. It was a Harbor Freight winch.
Yep.
And you moved 30,000 pounds with it.
A 5-part line using only 2 snatch blocks. So we have our main line coming off the Jeep, runs around this ring just like normal, comes back up here, goes around second ring just like normal. Then it comes all the way back here, goes through center of ring, then it's down here coming all the way back, goes through center of ring again, and then our 5th part goes all the way up, and I have it tied into the frame of the truck back there.
You guys also did, you and Ben with 406 Garage, you guys did
A Mini Cooper.
A Mini Cooper, where you pulled it sideways.
By hand.
By hand.
Where we were the winch.
So what's cool about this is if you have both of these rings and all the supporting equipment, it's 3 soft shackles, both of these, a winch extension and a tree strap, you have a winch in a bag. So say your winch welds up on you, it turns into a brick, you can't use it, you still have a winch. It's a winch in a bag.
It's a winch line extension, thanks to my lovely assistant. Yeah, it is, winch in a bag, and if you have something to pull on it or you pull on it, like these have the ability to take like a 10,000-pound winch and create a massive amount of force, or the ability to use a very small 4-wheeler ATV side-by-side people to pull out significant amount of weight.
These things are changing the game. Now what's fun too is that this isn't necessarily a new idea. This is a new design, and this is our design. We have it patented. But pulling over a stationary radius without bearings has been used for decades. It's been used in the sailing world. industrial fishing. You can do some incredible amounts of pull with this. And here's my favorite part about that: a lot of winch rings out there are notorious for falling off of the winch line. It's a big issue. It's a real pain in the butt, and so they require a lot of babysitting. They require a lot of attention. But this is designed if you're doing a 2-to-1. So you're going out of the winch, you're going to the tree strap and back. You just go through the hole. And
soft shackle pulls one way, winch rope pulls the other through the center. It's impossible for it to ever fall out of the groove or come out of place.
It makes it so much easier. This is made in the United States with American Kaiser aluminum. It's billet. So we take it out of a 5-inch round bar. We slice them up into smaller pucks, and then we machine it out of that. You got to go to the test facility where we did the pull-apart pull. And I called ahead and said, okay, we're not going to pull it the strong way, we're going to pull it the weak way. We're going to try and blow out the thin side. What did you see?
So now using like this, you're putting the ring under tension, which is a whole new way of using it that hasn't been done before. So we want to see what it would hold. Problem we ran into is we can't figure out how to break it, because you can only fit so big of rigging through this hole. And we used the biggest test slings they had at the test facility that we could fit physically through that hole, and we kept breaking the slings at 80,000 pounds of pulling force on this. The sling broke. The ring held 80,000.
There was about maybe a 1/4 inch of deformation in the ring, but it blew up
the test
slings.
The test slings kept breaking at 80,000 pounds and the rings held.
So for the max diameter of winch line that we recommend for the radius that this is, you are not going to come anywhere near 80,000 pounds of braking strength with the 7/16 winch line pulling in either direction. So you can use this as the recovery point. So if you're doing a multi-line setup, you've got this anchored to the bumper, the tree strap, or whatever it is, and you're only doing a 3-to-1, and you don't have a place to hook that soft shackle on the end of the winch line, use this. This is the other anchor point. You don't have to have another tree strap. So the thing to keep in mind when you have the power of both of these rings, you have to remember
anchor points.
Anchor points.
What
anchor
are you
points.
hooked to?
So
it's the important part. These are going to hold. The rope isn't going to see any more line tension than what the winch can put on it, but what these are hooked to on the vehicle is what you got to be very careful of.
Yeah.
Because now you have the ability to create a whole lot of power really quick.
Just full disclosure, this is strong enough to tear your bumper off, put an extra 1/2 inch in your door jamb, tear your axle out. Like this now is more power to the consumer, but a lot more responsibility at the same time. But as a company, we want to make sure that everyone has more options, that there are more things that can be done, but understanding those recovery points need to be strong. You need to diversify the location of where everything is set up. With this kit, we also sell safety slings, catch slings that are designed to catch these if anything is ever overpowered. But it won't catch the tree if you pull it over. This is changing the game. It's making things a lot easier. What's beautiful about it is that there's no moving parts, there's no bearings. You don't have to worry about maintenance. You just have to make sure that it stays smooth. Just take care of it.
And 3 soft shackles and 2 rings is all the gear you need to make up to a 5-part pull. 6 pounds of gear.
Yep.
Instead of 50 pounds of snatch blocks to do the same thing.
Something that might be brought up too. If you're doing if you're doing a single line 2-to-1, a single soft shackle is strong enough for this. Just a 2-to-1, it's totally fine. If you're going to do a multi-line pull, so like a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1, if you have 4 lines running through this, 2 lines running through this, 4 legs pulling on it, you must use a double loop soft shackle.
So this is one soft shackle, a big one for going around an axle housing, whatever, but you can also double it up, and now it's twice as strong. And it will fit through here with the rope going through as well.
Yep.
So then you're not going to break this.
So it's been a fun engineering feat, and it is definitely changing the game in recovery.
Cool. Nice. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll find a link to Casey LaDelle's channel in the description below, along with a link to Yankum Ropes, where you can use code SOFTROADINGTHEWEST for a discount off your purchase. Now, while Yankum Ropes is one of my partners, I have not been paid to produce this video. This was my idea, and Alan and Casey kindly assisted. Thank you for watching.